Private and public collaboration is something that must happen. It's something that must happen because they represent two paradigms, they represent two spheres that are motivated by different things. So for the public sector, it's about public good. Private sector is not always about public good, but it's about efficiency, it's about agility and all of that. So there's definitely areas for collaboration. The public sector is the sector that has the mandate in any given, like the government, the state has got the mandate to provide services. But sometimes, whether it's by bureaucracy or by politics or stuff like that, they don't usually get to implement some of the very laudable policies that and guidelines that they come up with. So this is where the private sector comes in. Private sector is always early adopters of technology. So the use of technology, the deployment of technology to bring in efficiency, to bring in agility, to bring in responsiveness in the workings of the public sector is definitely an area. Lean, as like lean technology, reduction of waste, stuff like that. The private sector is better at that. Management of resources, so deployment of ERP products within the workings of the public sector, which is commonplace in the private sector. It's something that can make the whole of government happen. And interestingly, because of the work we did during the COVID response, because everybody was scared to their bones, about whether this was the apocalypse, whether this was the end of the world as they knew it. So for some time, the private sector did not put profits first. They worked very closely with the public sector. We see ourselves as somewhere in the middle. We are public because we are not for profit and work with the state, but we are guided by some of the principles of the private sector. So COVID was one of those areas where we could see a company like Right to Care being able to put together a consortium of all kinds of players to respond as fast as we needed to respond to, where we saw a lot of, so the area of diagnostics, for instance, where we see a lot of private sector organizations come in, supporting the department to be able to be mapping some of these variants, and that's why South Africa was like at the forefront of the science of COVID. So we don't have to look very far to see exactly how the private and public sector could work. Science moves faster in the public sector than in the private sector than in the public sector. Dissemination of new information is faster. The velocity of sharing information is faster in the public sector. When it comes to training, for instance, training public sector staff, a private sector organization will probably be able to provide such a training at a pace and do the revisions of the curriculum at a pace that will be useful. So we could go on and on, but I'm a big advocate of well thought out, well-crafted, well-designed public-private partnership and products that actually address the real need of the client, so in this case, the patient.